you look out of place. Walking out of the town of Austin here. As you can see, it's under construction. Well, this is Highway 50, supposedly the loneliest highway in America. Tell you what, I can say without a doubt, Highway 6, where Lunar Crater is between Ely and Tonopah, is significantly lonelier. Nevertheless, that's the moniker given to this stretch of road. These are the sections of highway that really suck. Narrow shoulders. So I've been hiking in Nevada over a month now, and I just got 4G service on my phone for the first time. I did not get 4G service in Austin, but along the side of Highway 50, 2 hours east of Austin. So go figure.
I could have taken a slightly longer route that avoids the highway, and that's actually the recommended route, but I've chosen to walk a few hours on this in order to get to my destination a little earlier this evening, so I'll have a little more time to spend there.
And basically the route I'm on right now on Highway 50 is taking me through the northern section of the ranges I just walked. So right behind me is the Toiyabe Range. Out in this direction, I'll be crossing Big Smoky Valley, and then eventually the Toquima Range and the Monitor Range. The very northern tips. Now leaving the Toiyabe National Forest, land of many uses. Man, I love that slogan. I'm coming up on the junction with 376 here in a second, and then I'll be on that very shortly, and I'll be taking that dirt road over there out to Spencer Hot Springs. All right, about to leave loneliest highway in America. Thankfully, wish it was a bit lonelier. Kind of a lot of traffic for a lonely highway. Man, I'll tell you what, Austin was a great town stop. Cool little town. People, I think, there really made the difference. Just very accommodating, friendly people, lots of character, great vibes. Well, one thing about walking dirt roads is you got to pick the right side when vehicles come. Otherwise, you eat dust. So this section from Austin to Eureka, kind of consider it like a filler section, you know? It's not, certainly not going to be one of the highlights of the trail, but you need to do it to connect the Toiyabes to the Diamond Range. There's really no other way, whether you take route north or south of Highway 50. None of it is particularly amazing. Of course, there's always a couple of places that stand out, you know, and a few unique experiences, I think, that make just about any section, even the filler sections.
I think one of the cool things about the Basin and Range Trail is that each new section typically begins by walking in the shadows of last week's trials and triumphs. It's a last chance to say goodbye to another mountain range. Some of its mysteries revealed, but never quite enough to break the spell these peaks hold over us. I still look back and wonder at the mountains I just walked. Only the thought of the untold adventures that lie ahead ring louder.
So I've been seeing a couple of these tubes, these shafts coming out of the ground. Not really sure what they are. They're all shot up with holes and stuff. There's some sort of PVC pipe or something going straight down in the ground. Tell you what, it's too small to drop a nuke down, like Project Faultless. Maybe a little baby nuke. One of the mysteries of the desert, venting some sort of poison gas. Spencer Hot Springs definitely appears to be a popular place. Quite a bit of traffic coming in and out. Tell you what, you know you're somewhere kind of cool when there's a lot of stickers on things. Well, almost all the stickers are cool. So I've just entered the Spencer Hot Springs complex. There's like 13 different hot springs spread out. There's only a couple of them, I think they're kind of like considered main pools, you know, that people actually go to, but there are supposed to be 13. Austin's a small town with about roughly 100 people. And if you ever imagine a stereotypical small town sheriff, he surely exists in Austin. He's kind of a big guy, maybe 6'3", khaki colored uniform, cowboy hat, aviator glasses, goatee. You know, almost to the T of what you'd expect for a small town sheriff. So the other day I'm sitting in the bar, the sheriff walks in and kind of bullshitting with people, cracking a few jokes. And the door to the bar stays open, so you've got a good view right outside, right out in the street. So as the sheriff's walking out of the bar, a semi-truck flies by, maybe 40 or 50 miles an hour in a 25, and sheriff walks right out in the middle of the street. He's got his hands on his hips, and he just kind of looks down the road, pauses for a second, and he says, "Boy, I know you didn't just speed through my town." And he kind of waits for a second, and then he runs over to his police car and proceeds to chase after him. I was cracking up over that, though. "Boy, I know you didn't just speed through my town. Not my town, boy." So I've reached my first hot spring in the Spencer Hot Springs complex here. I've heard it's a bit warm. Oh yeah, that is a bit warm. What a view though. What a view. And then you've got like these secondary pools here that are a little bit cooler. Quite a bit dirtier though. One of the other pools here at Spencer Hot Springs. This one is a bit murky, it's a bit deeper. It's got this nice little deck. Killer view. Even the Spencer Hot Springs area, and headed over to the Linka Mine to do a little rockhounding. But either way, I'm going to find my way back to Spencer Hot Springs later tonight as Sarah and Cassidy from the motel where I stayed in Austin are going to come out and visit me tonight and have a soak, and bring me a gallon of water too. Well, here we are at the Linka Mine, or at least part of it. It's kind of a sprawling complex, and a lot of debris. Pretty typical of these old mines. They just kind of left scattered barrels and garbage laying around. Now they call them historical artifacts. I turned this tire into a little bit of a planter. The roof of an old building here. And over here, the mine entrance. Yeah, that one's like walled off in there. Oh, it's like a storage shed. It's got basically like the roof left. Danger, unsafe mine. Well, of course it's not going to be safe. Come on now. And really, that's where you want to dig down there, like along the walls and stuff. Start picking at that. You can see all the different colors and all the different layers of sediment exposed. Even that bird's looking for something. Well, let's go find us some rocks. pretty sure this is a garnet, and I mean, this is a nice size garnet. So there's these veins that are running through these rocks that are just full of garnets. I mean, you can just see them. So it's been pretty productive and pretty fun so far, to be honest. And then you can kind of see this shiny metallic substance here. Man, this is fun. Breaking rocks open, finding garnets and whatever else I'm finding, I don't even know. Still fun. More fun than the hot springs, actually. Well, I spent like 2 hours down here in this mine, and there's like other mine pits and everything to explore. Man, is it addicting. Oh, wow. Man, this is nuts. It's just like a complete mining operation here. So I'm headed back to Spencer Hot Spring. Man, I had a blast exploring that mine. I was really looking forward to that. This whole trip really, I'm really glad I took the time to do that. And for me, doing a trip like this, I think variety is key. You kind of burn yourself out when you do the same thing. Just walk up and down mountains and, sure, you get great views, but you gotta throw some variety in there, Man, just every couple of minutes, these damn burros just keep making ridiculous noises. Sometimes they're really close. It just makes it hard to sleep. And then the burros came in at night, and they were quite annoying, making all sorts of loud, obnoxious noises in the middle of the night, stomping around near my tent, just being all around jackasses. And that's the thing about the desert. Nobody has a stealthy approach. You can see them coming from miles and miles away. And here's another mine, not too far from the mine I was at last night. Yeah, knowing what I found last night, kind of hard to walk by another mine like this without at least checking it out. And they got these like holes in the ground here, but it's like just a storage shed, really. Protect the old crotch here. Oh yeah, that worked just good. To kind of keep me out of the treasures that lie within. This one's a bit steeper. I probably should have came in on that side. Didn't really spend too much time in that mine. I'm sure I would have found something more interesting. I just dedicated a little bit more time to it. But it's like 10 a.m. and I've only gone a mile. I really got to get my ass in gear today. I got rock fever. So I'm leaving the mines behind. Now I can finally make some progress. And this is the very northern portion of the Toquima Range. A lot different looking, a lot drier, a lot browner looking. Man, it's just looking a little bit barren all of a sudden. down low in the valley. Like usually crossing the middle of the valley is where you get the finest sand and dirt. And that's what I've got here. It's just really fine in spots. It'd be quite a pain to walk through. And the road splits off here. And these roads do not look like they get much use. And, you know, by Spencer Hot Springs, there's a lot of people, a lot of traffic. And all of a sudden out here, I'm kind of starting to feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere again. And there's like 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 wild horses or burro there. I can't quite tell. Here they can actually be quite mean, the burros. Yeah, and there they go. They want nothing to do with me. I just took a break and ate some lunch here. I get one of my last views of Big Smoky Valley before I go over the mountains behind me, the northern part of the Toquima Range. Just feeling really, really alone, actually, you know, having all the, I don't know, the social interaction I had in Austin and then at the hot springs, and just all of a sudden just feeling like alone and on my own again. That's pretty much it for the road. Just kind of turns into this wash, and the wash has trees growing in it. So, try and go up the hillside a little bit. Well, this is the crest of the Toquima Range at the northern end. So I get across Monitor Valley and then the Monitor Range again. Man, my right thigh is getting pretty sore. My quad for some reason. But this is kind of the most sore it's been. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that. I never have problems with sore quads. And really soft ground still super annoying to walk on. Not quite as bad as sand, like a step up. I think most hikers don't like walking roads, which is understandable. And after you walk miles and miles and miles of sagebrush, roads don't sound too bad. And this isn't even a bad patch of sagebrush. This is pretty easy as far as sagebrush goes. Spaced pretty far apart. You don't have to step over it, do like a 2 or 3 foot high step over it. You find yourself out in a valley full of sagebrush like this, walking across it with no trail. Kind of test your mental toughness in a different way. For now, we keep heading towards that high point over there. That's Summit Mountain. All right, a road. Man, what a relief to be on this road. You know, I'm a month into this hike now, 33 days, I think. And yeah, you know, in the beginning, everything's new and exciting. And even the stuff that sucks somehow sucks less. But after you know, about a month on trail, that kind of wears off. And when stuff's rough, man, you feel it. And then the real mental game of a through hike kind of sets in. It's just as the hike wears on, so do the challenges. Dry, dry, dry. Just a little ways longer. I should be up in the mountains there, at least starting to enter Wallace Canyon. If I can be honest, my right thigh is really starting to hurt me though. Got a 4,000 foot climb to go up over the Monitor Range here. And I feel like this is either a really stupid move, going over it, not listening to my body, or, you know, I'll just tough it through it. You know, it'll be okay in the end. I don't know. I'm really struggling to figure out what I want to do. My leg My leg doesn't feel right. Tell yourself you're gonna tough it out and it's just gonna make it worse. I mean, my other options are walk far enough north I can get up to Highway 50. I don't know where there's water. I haven't planned for water. It's a really dry valley. God, this sucks. Fuck. Ah, this sucks. I took 2 ibuprofen. I'm gonna keep going. There's a low route alternate I can take. It won't be 4,000 feet of elevation gain. So this will give me a couple miles to figure it out, see what's happening. I'm walking down this road here, and all of a sudden a truck comes up, and a couple guys, you know, kind of the typical thing. Hey, what are you doing? Do you need some help? Do you need some water? And I said, well, you know, if you got some water, I ain't gonna turn you down. And he said, well, we got a cooler full of cold waters and a Gatorade, and you can have our last piece of fried KFC chicken. I said, all right. So I filled up all my waters, and now I've got 5 cold liters of water, which is great because I was down to 1 liter of like 120 degree water. And sat there and talked to those guys for a while. They're out here scouting for antelope and hunting in the fall. That stop came at a really good time because I was kind of starting to conserve my water. I know it's going to be a little bit before I get some. I don't know when it's going to be. And it saves the time of filtering it. And honestly, sometimes just stopping and talking to another human being is all the pick me up I need to keep going. And I tell you what, those guys stopping, giving me that water, just that chat, honestly, just that chat, I feel so much better. I feel really, really good. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite things about doing these kind of hikes is just talking to people, and you know, they're so interested in what you're doing, and man, I'll tell you what, you see a spark in their eye when you tell them what you're doing, and it just feels so good to bring like that kind of inspiration to others, you know, and in turn it inspires me to keep going. First trees, that's always a great sign. Kind of be out of the open, exposed basin and valley. Got a hoof here, a couple hooves. Guess they don't eat the hooves. And some older bones here. Huh. And the last couple nights I didn't get as much sleep as I normally get. And I think it's got a little bit to do with maybe the way my leg was feeling today. And just overall just being a little bit worn down. Well, and that's good, there is water here. Keystone Light, a local favorite. Man, it feels good to be in the shade. Been in direct sunlight pretty much all day, and my legs feeling a little bit better. Probably thanks to the vitamin I, ibuprofen. Man, it's pretty thick up there. A lot of trees. Monitor range is thick and luscious. It's a good thing for this road because that looks like a nightmare. That looks like a nightmare to bushwhack. Well, this is a rarity in Nevada here, a pre-existing campsite. There's also a clearing over here. This looks a little flatter and a little bit less debris on the ground. Maybe this will be my spot. Well, I was going to take the campsite down there by the aspen trees and all that, but came up here to this hill, and like always, if you're just a little patient with your campsite, get a nice one like this. I'm gonna clear out a spot maybe right here, and then look at this view. Full moon tonight. It's gonna be pretty bright.
Well, today's the 4th of July. Not a bad view to wake up to. I've been debating all night and all morning what to do, whether I want to take the low route through the valley here or take the high route up here. And I think I'm going to take the high route. I'm feeling better this morning, so Summit Mountain, here we come.
Man, I slept like a rock last night. Barely moved at all. Really good, high quality sleep, which is great because I'm gonna need it for today. I just walked up this steep hill, and then it just steeply drops down into another ravine. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna contour across this hillside here. That shit is getting old, man. I'm gonna keep going up and down for no reason. Forget that. These animals know what to do. Got this nice little game trail here. Oh, these 4x4 roads are killing me. Just so steep. So I just stopped for my first break of the morning, and I had a tick on my thigh. It's only the second tick I've seen on me this whole trip. The one good thing about Nevada is that the ticks here don't really carry Lyme disease or any of the other diseases in any great numbers. So now I follow this ridge line for a little ways. Kind of see the road over there. It's going to take me to the base of this mountain, which is Summit Mountain, or also called Broken Back number 2 on the USGS map. There's a bunch of wild horses over there. There's maybe 6 or 7 there. There's 6 or 7 there. 2 there. Like 6 there. So there's 5 or 6 horses over there. And like 2 cows, 3 cows, can't quite tell. Just look at that. Wild beasts living in harmony together. Probably should have taken the road. It's a little too late for that now. Time to whack some bushes. Well, I really lucked out because there's this nice horse trail here along the bottom of this ravine. Should have taken the road. Oh well. So the plan is to go up and over this mountain. This is kind of where the road stops, right up here at this little saddle.
We'll just ride around the hills. I think Eric's gonna stay the night with us.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Time to start drinking some beer.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're gonna blow his stomach up. He hasn't eaten shit.
You're gonna have a hell of a headache. Yeah, we got steaks.
Man, that sounds
I told him.
that
That's
sounds
what
so
did
good.
it.
All right.
Now I get to say sayonara to
Yeah.
Summit
Goodbye.
Mountain. Yeah.
You won't carve your name in it.
Little taste of luxury,
So
even out in the
yummy.
wilderness.
Yeah.
This granite countertop.
Look at that. It's like fit for the tree.
Sing that one up and then, oh geez.
He's something with you, bud.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than some of the shit he's rolled in.
Well, just rub some sage on him.
Yeah.
What?
Those assholes just drive by this girl that's walking down the road, don't even say hi or pick her up.
Yeah, really. Well, she didn't have her thumb out.
I guess that was probably it.
And yep.
Where are you headed?
Boy, you look out of place.
Not today.
No, let's not go to Michigan. Now, if you guys know any hidden caves or anything, then now you really spark my interest.
See, we do.
Where we were young and stupid.
Yeah, let's go in there.
You know, a little torch. And
Yeah.
just absolutely stupid. But
I ain't gonna turn the camera now.
Yeah.
We got to be.
But you got a smoke screen, no one can tell who it is. You got a keen eye. He sensed that camera right off the
Eric
bat.
takes this shit back to Minnesota or Michigan. Goes, holy shit, you survived? Wow.
you actually interacted with Nevadans.
You
Desert?
met the locals. We like to be called locals.
Never fails. The smoke always goes wherever a person is, doesn't it?
No, it does. And it's surprising. It doesn't matter if there's 10 people around the ring. It goes to all of them.
Really appreciate you guys picking me up and taking me in for the night.
We enjoyed the visit.
Yeah, it was
It's
cool.
kind of neat.
In this last section, you know, I got picked up by the Terrace family and the base of Summit Mountain there, and just kind of took 4th of July off and, you know, hung out with them and cruised around the 4x4s and drank beer and ate steak and just did like a normal human being thing, you know, for a holiday. And it just felt great, you know. I already did the mine, I already did Spencer Hot Springs. Those are the two things I wanted to do in that section. I did them. And now I've got the opportunity to do something more fun and more meaningful than simply, you know, hiking over another hill or through another desolate valley. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's more to long distance hiking than simply hiking, and you're kind of missing out if you look at it from, you know, only a hiking mindset. So that's what I took away from the last section. I think it's a pretty valuable lesson for me to learn.
I only ended up hiking about half of this section and took a ride from the Terrace family into town in order to stay on schedule. I have a hotel reservation in Eureka for tonight and a package waiting for me. I've got about 500 miles on these pair of shoes, and you can see the tread is just like completely worn off. I mean, this is like basically smooth. And you can just see the difference here. This basically just solid, thick, beefy tread, whereas this one's just smooth. And here's all the rocks and minerals I found over this last section. And this is probably the coolest one I think I've ever found. And I believe these are andronite garnets. It's just a cluster of all these different garnets here. And some little crystals forming there in between. And then some of these other ones here you can see, you know, good size garnets right here just kind of sticking out. And this is probably the largest garnet I think I've ever found. So I'm going to send these back home and have a closer look at them when I return.
Yeah! Yeah!
Thanks for watching. I hope I've earned your subscription and a thumbs up. Visit basinandrangetrail.com for official maps and guidebook, follow Seeking Lost on social media, and consider lending your support on Patreon if you would like to see more quality outdoor content.